Well, hello there. How's your heart today? How's your wonderful, beautiful, dynamic heart? Hey, Eureka, so nice to see you. Yeah, I haven't been quite very consistent with my Wednesday live Q&As and even the meditations on Fridays because my schedule has been so freaking wonky. So I apologize, but usually you'll be notified like a half hour before on YouTube. And if you wanted to, you could always drop me an email and just say, "Hey, Terry, you're going to live today?" Hey, Debbie, so nice to see you. Happy Wednesday to you too. Well, hello, Intention XP. Hey. Hey, Shika, so nice to see you. It looks like everybody's coming on board. How is everybody? What is going on? Hey, Khaled, so nice to see you. What's going on? What is happening, huh? Um, are you guys tired and exhausted, or is that just a me thing? I kind of feel like a lot of people are tired. There's just a lot going on. Colin, I'm doing well and my heart is doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm just tired. That's what I was explaining. Um, Ishika, yeah, you're saying this past week you've done nothing. See, that's the thing. It's like sometimes when I'm doing everything, I have so much energy. And this week, my schedule's just been wonky, but I don't feel like I've been overexerting myself to the point where I would feel more tired, you know? Yeah, drained. Yeah, that could be it. I feel like there's an evolution going on. I mean, there's always an evolution these days. And I don't know if you've noticed, but you'll have lesson after lesson after lesson. They're coming fast and furious. So the evolution that is just happening, it's wild because as soon as you understand and get, "Oh, okay, this is what I was supposed to learn, bam, here comes another one. And it's exhausting. So I'm thinking maybe that's what's going on because I will tell you, I'm in transition just like you guys. And these insights that keep hitting me. Are you guys getting those insights? Yeah, Debbie, those lessons are exhausting, right? Are you guys getting those hits? Those breadcrumbs of the soul? Hi, Chelsea. Um, she just jumped on my lap. Are you guys getting that? Like these breadcrumbs, these callings. Are you guys getting that? Um, I'm getting them and I can't, it's almost like I can't keep up, just cannot keep up. So I want to hear some really great, wonderful things that have happened for you. Yeah, lesson after lesson, Eureka. Yep, 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 yep. So I want to hear some of the really great things that have happened to you since our last conversation. So go ahead and just type them out in the chat section. I want to hear I want to celebrate with you all of your wins. Breadcrumbs are the soul. Oh, you want to know what the breadcrumbs of the soul are? Actually, is it out yet? I don't think it's out yet. I did a podcast. I think it's going to be coming out in like about breadcrumbs of the soul. So breadcrumbs of the soul. I call those the inner callings, the inklings. As we move along, sometimes they're just little pieces that our soul is talking to us that we should follow, right? Breadcrumbs. There's a say, I don't know if if it's the same way in Japan, but out here it's like I don't even know where the breadcrumb idea came from. I think it's just like birds or whatever as a way to follow. You leave little breadcrumbs, squirrels, stuff like that. You leave little pieces of bread for them to eat so they follow, right? And you can guide and lead people in a certain direction, or not necessarily people. Yes, people. Maybe advertising would be considered breadcrumbs. Um, so when I'm talking about breadcrumbs of the soul, I am talking about those little pieces that kind of guide us and lead us, entice us in a certain direction. So that's what I'm talking about. Intention XP. Am I butchering your name? Am I saying your name right? You had a purge a few days ago and it hit out of nowhere. Oh yeah, those purges. Those purges are exhausting. Those purges are exhausting because this is what's happening when you purge. What happens is you have a space. It could be in your cells, it could be in your auric field, it could be in your mental body, it could be in a chakra, whatever. Whenever there's a purge happening, it means it is being released, or there's a release, or something is being let go. And now there's a hole left over. Intention experience. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. So now there's a hole. So you have this whole big space here inside a cell, inside a chakra, your energy field, whatever. Yeah, Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs. Exactly, Eureka. Exactly. And this area that is already has information and data, let's just say, or light, now has to integrate with that. And so it now becomes one. That is where the exhaustion comes from when you're releasing and letting go of energy. So the exhaustion isn't necessarily from releasing, the exhaustion is coming from the release and the integration. So, considering that we're all in such a growth spurt, and we have been really for the past 3 years, each of us move at different paces. Okay. So there's, no comparison here. If you haven't experienced yet, fine. If you have, fine. If you've experienced it several times, fine. It's all still the same thing. Right. So this growth and this expansion is exhausting. And a lot of us are going through it super quick and super fast, or faster than we used to, because we are becoming smarter. So, yeah, Khalid, can you explain what a purge is, please? Sure. So there's release when you let go of something, but what a purge is it is a release or a letting go with major intensity behind it, so it's pushing it. So it's not just a cleaning and a clearing, it's a pushing out. Think of a pipe that is just a pipe. And then as soon as you put water, it pushes it through, right? Whatever, if there's a clog, let's say, sometimes you have to use one of those stick things. I don't know what they're called. But, anyways, you got to push it through, and sometimes you got to bring it back up, right? Some of them have hooks sometimes. And if it's just like a clog, they bring it out. So that's what a purge is. A purge is a very dramatic, intense release or a let go with big intention of major clearing. Good. Yeah, great question, Khalid. Great question. So, yeah, a plunger unclogs. Yeah. Sure, a plunger could be well, yeah. I think the when we're talking purge, we're talking about the actual action. There are different tools you can use, right? So a plunger would be a tool to unclog, right? So, energy moving energy, or energy pushing energy through a would be a tool, right? So hopefully that helps. Here in the States, yesterday was our Independence Day, in which we celebrate independence and freedom and sovereignty. How many of you guys have given yourself an opportunity to experience independence, freedom, or sovereignty within boundaries, within what you're capable or able of doing? Have you guys been able to do that? Intention experience says it would involve a lot of crying, releasing beliefs that you don't know you had, breaking, grieving, and peace. Yeah, those are some of the symptoms, I guess you can call it. It's definitely the destruction or the pushing through or pushing out of like belief systems when we're talking from an energetic perspective or a healing or transformative perspective. That's what is happening, right? Um so yeah. Happy Independence Day for yesterday. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So a lot of times we feel like we're restricted or that there have been boundaries that are set and a lot of times we place them on ourselves. They may not actually be real. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Right? So within those boundaries, right? There's still opportunity to experience freedom and sovereignty and independence. It oftentimes takes effort and you have to use your will, and that's okay. That's okay. But if the outcome or the result is sovereignty, isn't that what you want? Right? Isn't that what you want? Because remember, the feelings create the manifestation because the feelings exist in the astral realm or the emotional body. So everything first starts out as in the mental world, and then it drops into the astral world, and then it comes into the physical world. That's the process of manifestation. So first shows up as a thought, then a feeling, and then the reality in in physicality. So so yeah. So who all is here? We have Debbie and Yurika and Intention Experience and Ishika and Colin. So nice to see you guys. So nice to see you. Um, yeah, so let's continue with the blessings, you guys. I want to hear about all the good, yummy stuff that have happened to you. Like what's gone on. I want to share and celebrate in your wins. Let's see. What's a win that I had? I had a very big unexpected communication. Oh, you missed me. Thank you, Colin. I miss you guys too, It's weird. It's like it's not weird. I shouldn't say it's weird. It really just goes back to the birds of a feather flock together, when we're on the same energetic frequency and we are in those patterns consistently over time. When there's a breakage from that, it's noticeable, right? So, I miss you guys too when, when we get into the groove and then all of a sudden I've got something else that I have to do or whatnot. Um, you know, but this is our tiny but powerful community here on the YouTube. It's very, very nice. Very nice. All right, wins. We're going back to celebrating wins. Okay, you might be asking, well, why am I guiding us or leading us into a conversation about wins? I'm going to tell you why. I had a lovely reminder. I was working with one of my clients this morning and very sweet girl. And she's really trying to gear her um, career in a certain direction. She wants to make more money. And so I said to her, I said, okay, when you look at your money, what's the first thought that you have? And I explained to her that I myself have money anxiety, and that's a constant thing that I'm working through. And what I told her, what I do is I look at my bank account every day, right? And I notice that there's a number. There's a certain number that's in the account. For me personally, if it goes below a certain number, I start to get very worried, right? So my poverty consciousness starts to get activated based on just a a number. Seems silly, right? So what I have trained myself to do, and sometimes I fall back on it. Okay, we're human, and sometimes we go backwards to move 50 steps forward, right? What I try very hard to do is look at the money and actually feel grateful that I have that money. Not focus on the amount of money that's there, but just the fact that I have the money, right? So I do that with purpose, with intention. So instead of saying, oh shit, I go, oh wow, right? So the conversation that I'd love for us to have until anybody has any, psychic questions with the super chats. I want us to really start practicing intentionally shifting our perception okay? Our perception of what reality is. Perception, right? So you can say, I have this amount of money in my bank account, and you can go, oh shit. Or you can go, oh wow. Because I said to her, I said, what's the reality? I said, you have X amount in your account. So if an unexpected expense came up today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, today, and you have money in your bank account today, you could actually cover that expense. No BSing, you could cover it, right? And she said yes. And I said, but you are telling yourself you're broke when that's not the truth. We got to look at the truth. What is the truth? The truth is you do have money in your bank account. And the truth is that if there was an unexpected expense, you could cover it today. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, not a month from now, nothing. Today, right here in this now moment. So you've got to change your perception. So you have to look at your money and go, oh, wow, I'm so grateful I have this. This is wonderful. Instead of, oh, shit. And that takes a lot of effort. It's a new behavior that you're doing, rewiring the brain, right? So it is not an easy thing to do. It's not a pleasant thing to do. Nobody can do it for you. And it takes a long time. Not going to sugarcoat it, not going to BS you, right? Eureka is okay. Hold on. Ada asks, I hope I'm not butchering your name. What is my life purpose? So when it comes to specific questions like that, what I do is I accept what's called super chats, and then I can focus my energy specifically for you. If it's a general question that the answer can pertain to everybody and anybody, we'll just go ahead and do that. But if it's super chat specifically for you, then I go ahead, you get top priority, I answer your question, and then we resume. Like Debbie just right now, she is saying she has a question. So thank you for the super chat, Debbie. Okay. What do I need to know about my relationship with Abby to move forward? What do I need to know? You're welcome, Ada or Ada. I'm sorry. What do I need to know about my relationship with Abby? Okay. Well, in order for it to move forward, meaning to keep going, you have to know that in this now, hey Sunflower, I see you. I'll be with you in a moment. You have to know, it's not so much know, you have to trust that it is a process that might not yield the result that you want. So you're putting too much, you're trying to control the relationship. You're trying to, it's not an obvious way of trying to control it, but by asking how to keep it moving forward, there's an assumption, A, that it's stalled or that it's stopped, that it's actually not still moving forward, even if there's a pause. So you're not trusting the process because you have to understand that this, I think we've discussed this. If not, this is the information that's coming through. I don't really retain information when I'm doing these, quickies. And even when I do the longies, when I'm working one-on-one, I just don't retain information. But this is not a serious relationship. This is more of a casual, like, let's go with the flow type thing. So part of it to keep it moving forward is to stop tracking and logging it and going, oh, well, it's paused right now. Right. She's saying it's going extremely well, yet he's not available long term. Right. So it's not like this. Exactly. So to keep it moving forward, you just stop when it stops and then pick up when it picks up. That's the process. That's how this relationship is. So when you're asking, what do I need to know about my relationship? What you need to know is that there are stops and starts, and that is the process and that's the flow for this particular kind of relationship. I hope that I hope that is understandable. Like I hope I'm being clear enough in my explanation, because this is not going to move towards marriage or anything like that. So it's like it is what it is. So when it stalls, and when it picks up again, it picks up again. Okay, good. So you understand that. Great. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, Sunflower has a super chat. Will I go to Canada this month? As of right now, I'm getting a no. So it's weird. So, like, if you do go to Canada this month, it's almost like it's so far towards the end of the month that it could be questionable whether it's this month or next month. So I just don't think you're going to go to Canada this month. Yeah, I'm just not getting that you're going to go to Canada this month. Yeah, I'm really trying to feel into this, and it's almost like you're not supposed to even know whether you should or shouldn't. Again, remember, when we're asking information about something, whatever it is, we're trying to get a sense of control. Like, there's a false sense of control. Hey, Khalid, I see you. Just one moment. Where um if we can try and strategize and plan and get the outcome and result, or at least try and know the information, it'll make us feel safer, more secure, and it gives us a false sense of control, and then we feel like we can know what avenue to take. And I just feel like when we're logging and we're tracking all this stuff, it's you're not really letting the story unfold. You're trying. So you're trying. So Sunflower, I feel like you're not supposed to actually know. I don't feel like you're going to. I don't think you're going to, but I also think you're not supposed to know. As you trying to like know, I don't think you're supposed to. So hopefully that gives you some information. Okay, call it. I haven't been feeling well health wise. I'm sorry to hear that. Feel like I'm all over the place and my anxiety is out of control. What's happening? Anxiety. You're having anxious flare ups. Something is triggering you. Most of the time, it's our operating system. And so what's happening is that the more out of control you feel, the more you're going to go back into the more you're going to go back into what feels familiar, because you feel like you have some sort of control, right? But then all that does is it puts you in this spiral yet again of not actually getting the control, because what's if it hasn't worked for you in the past, I don't know why you're going to do it again and in the present or even in the future. But you do it because it feels um like you're trying to be familiar, like you're trying to find a way to feel better. Anxiety is going to affect you physically. And I mean, it sounds like you're very full aware of this. So what are you actually doing to balance it though? Hey, Ishika, I do see you, but I see that you have a super chat, but I don't see your question. So if you don't mind writing down your question. So Khalid, okay, I see your question. Thanks, Ishika. Um, Khalid, you got to get your anxiety out of control. Okay, I'm going to say something. Don't shoot the messenger. This is what's coming through, but stop acting like a child and start acting like an adult. Oof. Hey, Sunflower, I see you. Lady Bree, I see you. I'm going in the order that they're coming in. Okay. So something is going on, Khalid, where you're either trying to avoid or not. You're not doing your work. And no, don't beat yourself up on it about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. What could be happening is you've done enough work on your own that now you need somebody to guide you the rest of the way. That totally happens. That it's a normal, natural thing. It happens, right? So you're in this kind of cycle, and you're taking steps that feel familiar and they're not improving your life. So I know that doesn't feel good to hear, but you have to start doing something different. And if you were doing something different, that's only going to take you to a certain spot. Now you got to start doing something more different. Okay. All right. Hey, Yurika, I see you. Just give me 1 second here. I want to go back here. So Ishika and then Sunflower, then Lady Bree. Okay, Ishika. I've become a little conflicted about what I should be doing going ahead with my injury recovery. One doctor suggests rest in the present timeline, while the other suggests physical therapy. What route do you see holding a better outcome? So here's the interesting thing. Here's what I'm picking up. Your body is more capable than you're allowing your body to be. So what a suggestion could be now, when I share this with you, I just want you to know I am not a doctor. I am not making a medical diagnosis here. I am giving you information that you get to choose which direction you want to go in. It feels like you do need time for recovery, okay? So fine. It takes time for the material physical world to heal, to transform, alchemize, change, which is what you're doing from injury to non injury, right? However, your body is capable of more than what you could be assigning it. So, one of the suggestions you could do, what they're saying, is do some sort of physical therapy and rest. So you're anding, not oring, because what it sounds like is you have your doctors that are oring you. And you need to listen to your body. So and your body can, you need to listen to what your body can handle. So you could do some physical therapy and then rest. Do some physical therapy and then rest. But, no matter what anybody tells you, you have to really feel into your body and feel what's best for you. So, what's coming up for me, the information I'm getting is that you can do both, but you have to really, really be present and mindful to what your body's needs are in that now moment. Okay. I hope that helps because I think your body can handle more than your perception of what it can handle. So, why not go in that direction? And then, as soon as you're like, oh, I think this is the threshold of what my body can handle, rest. Okay. Sunflower. Why does my friend S sometimes belittle the health problems I went through? Is it malicious? I don't feel that it's malicious. I feel it's like disconnected. Like this is a Ishika makes sense. Good. Oh, hey Myra, so nice to see you. Um, I don't think it's malicious. I think she's disconnected and she just doesn't there could be some also like social skill issues. I feel like she may not be, I don't even know if it's a she, friend S. I just went there, whatever. Um I don't know if this person might be on the spectrum too and just not able to truly connect and empathize with other people. There's definitely a disconnection there. I'm not sure she's the most, I keep saying she. Okay. I'm not sure she's the most I'm just not sure she's the most she's not the sharpest tool in the shed, let's just say. I don't think it's malicious. I just think she just doesn't get it. And plus, if you are going to have the expectation that someone should really be able to empathize and understand exactly what you went through, that's also not going to happen. So, where are you in your expectation scale as well? Right. But I don't think it's malicious. Okay. Lady Bree. Hey, Terry. I was wondering why I'm so drained all the time. I eat and sleep enough, but I'm always tired. Will yoga help with this? Yeah. Thank you. Yes, it's funny, I don't know if you were here when we first Hey, Ada, I see you. I'll be with you in a moment. Um, when I opened or one of the things I was talking about is how exhausted I'm feeling and how drained. And I think I think what's happening is, and I happen to know that you're very evolutionary right now, right? So you're in a lot of evolution, you're learning a lot of lessons. When we move energy through the body, we also have to integrate it. So as we're releasing and letting go of the old to make room for the new, what is still in the present has to integrate. And I think that's what's happening is that, oh, the other thing that's happening is you could have adrenal fatigue, they're saying. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not making a medical diagnosis. So you might want to read up on it. When we live in a state of anxiety, we could be overusing our adrenal glands. So that could be a reason as well. You might want to look up what the symptoms are and all of that. So there could be an imbalance there with the adrenals as well, or even thyroid. Again, I'm not a doctor, so I'm just giving you the information. But from an evolutionary, spiritual, energetic perspective, you're just constantly shifting and changing, and that's exhausting. So it's like the energy shift, change, alchemy, transformation is higher vibrational frequency, higher energy than the physical body. So it's taking time and it's a lot of work for the body to sort of catch up to the non-physical. Okay. So yoga should help with that. Yes. Hey Shika, I see you. I'm making my way through, y'all. Making my way through. So yeah, yoga would help with that because it'll help balance the energy. But I would also look into adrenal fatigue, or get your thyroids checked out. Unless you just went through like, unless you went to the doctor and everything was already okay. Okay. Okay, Eureka, here we go. My boss wants me to teach her and her staff how to stretch. What do I need to know about this to enjoy it? That it's a compliment that she picked you to show? You need to enjoy it. You need to not worry about it. You need to not track it, not log it. Be very present with it. Enjoy. Know that you're being of service. You're helping someone. That's what you need to know about it. Okay. Ada, I sent some money for a super chat, but my question was not posted. Okay, here it is. I see it. You're here. Um, will I ever get married and be in a relationship? I'm only giggling because I swear, it's like your case is so textbook from an energetic perspective. So, and then I don't know how much you've been hanging around. I don't think I've ever read for you. I don't think we've ever, worked together. But what's happening is you're activating law of repulsion. So you're keeping away your marriage and your relationship by thinking too much and concentrating on it too much and obsessing with it too much. When you understand how energy works, you can work with energy, you can manipulate it. Manipulation doesn't always necessarily mean that it's a negative thing, but if you were to learn and understand how energy works, and I do that, I teach how to connect the soul, the higher soul, the human soul with the higher soul, how to use energy, manifest that whole thing when I work with people in my program that is being renamed. It's currently Shift Happens, but I'm renaming it to Soul Intelligence because we're involving more of the soul in it. Um, you learn how energy works, and energy works on momentum and certain universal laws. So you're activating the law of repulsion by putting too much focus, attention, time, and energy into it. You're tracking, you're logging it, so you're pushing it away. Now, if you want to bring it to you, it's counterintuitive. Okay. So it's not like a natural kind of feeling, but you kind of have to ignore it. You have to activate law of assumption, which is like, why wouldn't it be mine? Why would you not get married? Why would you not be in a relationship? Are you a terrible, horrible person? No, of course you're going to have it. So it's going to come when it comes, right? And these things tend to come sooner when we ignore them, right? Ishika. Hi, Myra. I see you. I'll be with you in just a moment. Ishika, do you see me and Ishan going out on going Do you see me and Ishan going on dates, going ahead, anything on it? Um, I think you're trying to ask whether you think you're going to continue dating. I think that's what you're trying to say. Okay. Ishika and Ishan. Yeah. Yeah, but I think you just like, this is the theme with all of us, you guys. It's the anxiety that wants us to have that knowing, that outcome, and that result now. What's going to happen? I need to know now. So, your relationship anxiety is totally activated. You're triggered. And I do feel like you're gonna go out on dates again, but I do feel but you're in a delay or a stall. Remember, delays are not denials. I feel like something's going on with him. Now, for whatever reason, he may be how do I say this? I'm just going to say it because I'm a truth speaker. I don't intend on being rude or mean when I say things, so I'm going to try and be um as kind as possible, but I feel like you're not the only person he's dating. And so I kind of feel like he's like testing the waters. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Do you want me to be wrong? Yes, then I want to be wrong. But I kind of feel like there's a delay or there's a pause between you and him. And I kind of do feel like he might be testing out other waters, but I do feel like he'll be coming back. So I do feel that I think you will be going on dates ahead, but he hasn't made up his mind yet. So I don't know why I want to phrase it like that, but that's kind of what I want to say is that he hasn't made up his mind yet. And I think you need to know right now. And the more you need to know right now, the more you think about it and the more you dwell about it, the more you marinate on it, the more you ruminate on it, the more you're going to activate law of repulsion, just like I was telling Ada. And then you'll end up pushing him away. So just let it be, take a pause, focus your attention on you, and let him come to you. Okay. Eureka. Yay, I'm helping someone. That makes me happy. Yeah. We have a tendency to forget that we, as spiritual empaths here, we're here to serve. And we focus on, well, what's going on with me, with me, with me, with me? Is this okay? Why is this not happening? Because we get activated into survival mode. When we're in survival mode, we're very selfish. That's just the name of the game. There's no shame in it. That's just the way it is. But if we can just forget that this isn't about us, that this is about other people, and Eureka, you were asked to help somebody, you get to go and be in service, right? It's just a mind shift change. All right. Um Lady Bree is saying all that makes sense. Doctors said everything's fine, but definitely want to look into taking yoga classes. Cool. Okay. Myra, I want to cut my hair. Is it a good time? You're asking the right person that question. So here's what I want to say. Because I went through this. Granted, your hair may not be in the same situation that mine was, where I literally shaved my head, right? It's been almost a year, by the way. I had to really listen to my body. I had to really pay attention to what it needed, not me, but it. Because remember, we are not the body, we are not the thoughts, and we are not the feelings. We have a body, we have thoughts, and we have feelings, but we are not them. So I actually, for me, it took me about 3 months of going back and forth until my body gave me a very, very real, firm yes, now is the time. As a matter of fact, I go to a therapist that does neurofeedback, and she also does muscle testing. And I had my body muscle tested a few times during that 3-month period, and it just kept coming up saying no. And one of the things I really have learned and continue to learn is how to connect to my body and listen to what my body wants, because my body is smarter than I am. So, because I can be entangled with physical reality, I have an ego, which may not be a truth teller, a truth speaker, right? Hey, Khaled, I see you. Just one moment. So when you're asking me, is it a good time? It's going to be a good time when your body's like, hell yes. And I got that hell yes, by the way. It doesn't seem like it can ever come when you're in indecision. But remember, when you're in indecision, you are leaking your energy. So wait until something is a hell yes. If it's an I'm not sure and I don't know, it's a no, you guys. It's a no until you get that hell yes. And I got that hell yes on a Thursday. I called the bestie because she wanted to shave my head. She first wanted to do like a mohawk, and I was like, "Ugh." But I'm like, okay, that's only part of the process, right? Because that mohawk is gonna go away. I'm like, whatever makes you happy. I got a hell yes. Like there was no doubt in my mind. It was like, yes, my body felt it, everything. Sunday, she shaved my head. So, Myra, if you're in indecision and you're here bouncing back and forth, it's not the right time. You just have to trust your body will give you that information. And that's what everybody needs to be doing, whether it comes to choosing a job, going out on a date, don't want to see this guy again. Well, what is my body saying? Because your brain will go into survival mode and all of your old stories will come into play, right? Body first, then brain. Okay. So Myra, if you're not sure, it's not a good time. If you're like, fuck yes, it's a good time. Here's a little extra added information. Hair holds a lot of energy. If you do want to make a big change in your life, you should cut your hair. Maybe that helps. Ada, thank you, but it's a part of my destiny, life purpose, because I am gay and come from a conservative family. Okay. Ishika, yeah, it does make sense. Okay, good. Good, good. Okay, Khalid, here we go. Can you pick a card, Terry, just on the general? Sure. What card do I have here? I have Power Animal Oracle cards. Let's pick a card. General message here. Let's do a shuffle because I haven't shuffled them. Ah! All right, Khalid, let's pick a card. All right, what does Khalid need to know? What does excuse me, what does Khalid need to know? What does Khalid need to know? Generally speaking, what does he need to know? Oh, Khalid. You got the monkey. I'll turn it around so you can see it. You got monkey, ingenuity. The situation calls for adaptability and innovation. When you're in survival mode, it's very difficult to be adaptable and go with the flow because you are activated into I'm going to die mode. And therefore, I have to do what I know will make me feel a certain way because that is actually certainty. Even if it's an answer that you don't like, at least you know. So, just to sort of piggyback on earlier, you really have to sort of let go and see what happens. Whatever you're too attached to right now, which is could very well be money that's coming up, you need to let it go. That's a poverty consciousness and you are its bitch. Okay? Yurika, congratulations on your 1 year post. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It hasn't been quite 1 year, but I mean, it's growing back pretty good. Today doesn't look that good, but it's starting to finally look more feminine. Like I'm starting to feel like more, I'm starting to feel prettier. So that's cool. You're welcome, Myra. Ishika asks, how about coloring hair? So it's really about the organic of hair, and color is not natural. Unless you're going to put in like lemon and sit in the sun, that's more natural. But then you'll just get the frequencies of lemon, which is fine. Like lemon is all natural. But I mean, coloring your hair, it's change, but it's more of a superficial change versus an actual energetic change because something was changed organically. Khalid, body first. I'm gonna ask that question now all the time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true. Yurika, I'm going to donate my hair this month too. I'm so excited. Awesome. If you're gonna donate your hair, go ahead and Palo Santo it first, just to make sure. Like this is, just like as the spiritual empath, like this is how I can like kind of be of service to other people. Like if I were donating my hair, I would cleanse it and clear it first with some Palo Santo. And then, because remember, you're giving your energy to that person, right? So, not that you have bad energy or anything, but it'd be really nice to be able to donate that hair and it's clean and clear. Yes. Hey, Della, so nice to see you. Khalid's like, what if you need hair? Well, if you need hair, Yurika is donating. So there you go. Did I just want to make I'm going to scroll back now and just see if I missed anybody because I really wanted to keep up with the super chats since everybody, since you guys pay money for that, I do prioritize that. Um Yeah, Ishika's saying it's chaotic because she's confused. Yeah, so the same thing. Like that's indecision. Make a decision and follow it. The moment you make a decision and you follow it, everything seems to fall in place. It's magical. And you're not leaking your energy anymore, right? I think I got everybody. Okay, Ada asks. Okay. So Ada, just a heads up, Buttercup, that's a really big question to be asking in just this tiny little space. So I'll give you an answer because we don't just have one purpose, we have many purposes, and sometimes we live each purpose at a different point in life. Right now, it feels like your purpose is Ah, is to be a okay, is to show other people through your actions that they can do it. So what do I mean by that? You right now, your purpose is to be inspirational to other people by you transforming yourself first. So you'll, for example, I'm not saying this is your situation, I'm just saying, sometimes there are transformations where people lose a shit ton of weight, right? And that inspires somebody else to go on a diet or to start, some sort of self-care program and then they lose weight, right? So right now your purpose is to be an inspiration and to help motivate other people, but you can only do that by you first making that transformation yourself. Okay. Della, are you still taking questions right now? Yes or no? Well, general questions, yes, and I'm still taking super chat questions. So yeah, you're good. You're good. You're welcome, Ada. Eureka, ha ha ha. Thanks, Terry. If anyone needs hair, let me know. Eureka, that's an awesome life prop. That's an awesome life purpose, Ada. That's pretty cool, Eureka. Thank you for affirming that for her. Um, it's nice. That's a very nice thing to do. Della, how can I revive my motivation to make art? I've been super art blocked. Okay, I'm going to give you an exercise, okay? All right, so it's funny because this came up earlier as well. Um, this came up earlier as well. Creativity and art is feminine energy. And so, in order to do art and to get unblocked from art, you're unbalanced between your masculine and feminine energies. Okay. So, what we need to do is we need to up your feminine energy. We're not going to take away the masculine energy because we need it. And it's helpful and it's there for a reason. But what you're going to do is you're going to up your feminine energy. A very easy way to up your feminine energy. So, feminine energy is sensual energy, not sexual, sensual, meaning the senses of the human body: sight, smell, touch, taste, and hear of the body, right? Sensual energy leads to sexual energy, but it is not sexual energy. Feminine energy is sensual energy. So why do you think we women have so many lotions and potions? Men don't really do that. If you leave it up to a men, they won't give a flying figgy pudding about putting on cologne, right? We like it. They don't give a flying fuck, right? So here's an exercise that I always give to my clients when I work with them over, my transformational program. It's how to it's a practice. So what does a practice mean, you guys? What a practice means is an implementation of an action, and you do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So you don't just do it one time. Okay? So, Della, this is how you're going to revive your motivation to make art. Okay? I don't know if you drink coffee or tea. Most people I know drink coffee, so I'm going to give the example coffee, but you make it, you do you, boo. Let's pretend that you drink a coffee mug from like a ceramic mug. Remember, we want to activate all of the senses. So when you're holding your coffee mug, you're going to feel what it feels like to hold the coffee mug. What does that ceramic feels like? Feel like? What is the temperature? Is it iced coffee or hot coffee, right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to smell the coffee, right? Does it smell like regular coffee? Is it a flavored coffee? Do you smell hazelnut rose? Do you smell vanilla? Do you smell, I don't know, whatever, orange, whatever, right? So you're going to smell that, right? You're going to drink it. So you're going to you're going to activate taste now. What does it taste like? Is it sweet? Do you sweeten it? Do you, I don't know, is it hot? Is it cold? Like, what is the temperature in your mouth, right? You're gonna look at it. Does it need creamer? Do you like your coffee black and dark? Do you like it like me, a lot of cream, or it has to be a certain color? So you put in a certain amount of creamer. What does it look like to you? Right? So um, sound is gonna be the only challenging one because it's unless you wanna if you can put your ear to it and hear if it's hot, maybe the smoke, or if it's iced coffee and you move it around, you can hear the ice clanking against the mug. Or if not, what I tell a lot of people to do is I say, put on your, headphones or whatever and listen to your favorite song while you're drinking your coffee. That is an exercise for you to start activating and bringing up your feminine energy. Why? Do you guys remember why? I want an answer. Somebody type in the chat. I want to know if you guys are listening to me or if I'm just yapping. I'm waiting. Who's writing? I'm waiting. Um, while you guys write that down, Ada is saying, thanks, Yurika. But it feels like a lot when I'm going through it. Yeah, of course. Of course. It is big. It's huge when you're going through it. It really is huge. It's not until you get through the other side that, that your nervous system can slow down and go, hey, I survived it. Right. All right. No one's writing the answer. So that means no one's listening to me. So should I not do these Wednesdays anymore? Or is it just YouTube taking forever? This is how I know if you guys are paying attention or not. Once a teacher, always a teacher. All right, I'm going to repose the question. Yeah, Della's like, I feel like I'm in class. Exactly. Yeah, because I'm teaching you guys something, right? So, why are we using all of our senses? Because that's feminine energy. So, that exercise that I just gave you activates all of the senses. All right. So it's a really great exercise to do. You're not going to get in your feminine energy by doing it once. So you guys got to do it over and over and over again. A lot of the stuff, see, that's an exercise that I give you when you work with me one-on-one in my, what used to be called Shift Happens. Currently it's Shift Happens, but it's moving over to Soul Intelligence. Right. And that's why I work with you for 12 sessions, because these things need to be reiterated, practiced, and people need the support to be able to ask questions. What's going on? These weird things happen. Blah 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 blah. Ada, as empaths, because they've lived as are sorry, are empaths because they've lived many lifetimes. No, no. Empaths are empaths because in this current human lifetime, oh, Debbie's listening. You're sweet. Thank you. Because in this current lifetime, you learned how to anticipate other people's needs because your survival coping mechanism is fawning, which is people pleasing. So, most likely, you came into like a family that was probably chaotic and uncertain, and you never knew what was going to happen. So you always had to anticipate somebody else's needs so that you could please them, make them happy, and that way you would be safe. So a lot of times, a lot of verbally abusive homes or physically abusive homes, would be like that. So empaths, that's why you're always anticipating someone's needs. Now, being highly sensitive is a little bit different, and that's because you have an if you want to call it an awareness of expansion, or if, a heightened awareness of consciousness. That's highly sensitive. That means you're an empath, and you really can feel the most minute energetic shifts in someone. So everything has an electromagnetic field. So when you can detect something changes or something is different, you're highly, highly sensitive. Okay. I hope that helps. Eureka. I was physically and mentally abused, so that made me into an empath. I'm grateful that I can use it to help people now. Yeah. So it's a superpower. It's a superpower, but you have to learn how to manage it, Myra. Ooh, that's me. It can be draining. If you're constantly living in survival mode, it is draining. It is draining. Absolutely. So that's why you have to learn how to balance it. You have to learn how to balance it. It's a blessing and a curse. You get to choose how you're going to use it. Ada. But I'm sure people who come from peaceful homes are also empaths. Isn't it a trait we soul contract for each lifetime? I mean, I'm not saying you have to soul contract that for each lifetime. There probably are soul contracts that are made. But it's not like a prerequisite, like you have to. Um, uh, Most people who come from peaceful homes are secure and not anxious. So they will have less of a tendency to be an empath. Now, that doesn't mean they're not empathic, right? Being empathetic means you can put yourself in somebody else's shoes. But the kind of empath that we're talking about is being able to predict somebody's next move, right? Being empathetic is a human trait that hopefully everybody has, but a lot of people don't. But people who come from peaceful homes tend to be more secure, and they're not as sensitive or empathic. They can be empathetic but empathic, right? Ada, I understand. I know it's really minute minuteness and differences. Eureka, I know how people feel by their footsteps. That was trained. Yeah. Yeah. There is information and data, also known as energy, coming from sound, right? And if you're put in a situation where you're in a life or death situation, like I have no idea if I'm going to be yelled at. I don't know if I'm going to be hit. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to sure do my best to take in that information and data of what that sound of a footstep is going to be. And I better do whatever I can to survive. So being an empath is more of a current lifetime thing. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean those themes didn't also exist in past lives, right? See, there's different levels of truth. Doesn't mean they're mutually exclusive of other people. I mean, of other lives, right? So that could have been a theme. Most of us could very well have that theme, and that's what we're here in this lifetime to transform, heal, and alchemize, right? Who were you in a past life? I've had several past life regressions. In one of them, I was a man married to my in this lifetime sister. I was horrible to her. I cheated on her and everything. And I from what I remember, I think it was in the Greek Roman times. Another one is I my name was Lacey. I think I was in Texas. It was in the 1800s and I owned a hat shop. I don't remember the other ones. But I'm about to say something totally controversial here. It doesn't matter. Your past lives don't matter. What matters is your current life. And how are you going to help your higher soul evolve in this lifetime? Because all you got to do is worry about the now, the present now moment. It'll heal and transform everything from the past. So it kind of doesn't matter. Kind of doesn't matter. A lot of people don't like hearing that because they don't want to take responsibility and accountability for their current life. It's much easier to say, "Oh, well, I'm like this because that's how it was in the past life. So that's just it. So be it." Da 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 da. So I disagree. Um, Yurika, past lives don't matter. I love that. Thanks, Terry. You're welcome. Ada. I feel my life is karmic, especially with my family, and it feels so heavy. I don't know how to deal with it. Della, that's really cool that you could recall those past lives. Well, I was guided. I can't really remember them off the top of my head. I was guided. I think I did like 4 or 5, and I think one of them I fell off of a cliff, which makes sense because I have a birthmark behind my left knee and I've had problems with my left knee. I'm terribly afraid of falling. Terribly. So that could be, something that influenced me. I don't like hiking. I won't do that because I'm terrified of falling. In one past life, I fell off a cliff. That's how I died. So, I mean, that could be, you know, Ada, maybe I committed suicide in a past life and I had to reincarnate into hard circumstances. I mean, maybe. There's no way to prove any of this. I mean, you get to choose whatever your story and your narrative is in this life and you get to change it. So, if you're going to act like a victim, you can totally be victimized by past lives that you don't even know about. I mean, sure, why not? Go ahead, live your current now life miserable. Why not, right? We can choose that. Della, I hope things will look upwards for you, Ada. I believe it will. Yeah, I mean, but you have to choose it. You have to choose it, right? Khalid, sorry, I lost connection. It's okay, you're back now. Ada, I was eaten by a big cat in Africa in a past life, and in this lifetime, a lot of my families are scared even of small cats now. Yeah. It's really interesting because I love Hawaii. Like I love Hawaii. So I feel when I'm in the islands, I feel like I've had a past life there because I'm so connected to it, right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think a huge lesson that we have to learn is that we don't have to be victimized by our humanity. You guys have to remember that we have a higher soul that pours part of itself into a human container so that it can experience itself. So, technically, does the human really exist? Mm, You know, I mean, this is where we go into multidimensionalities and, you know, extraterrestrials and all of that fun stuff. I love that stuff. I've had several multidimensional experiences where I have come into contact with extraterrestrial life. It's awesome. I've had many experiences where I have manipulated time and I can, manipulate energy and all of these fun things. But I understand how they work. I've had to learn. I've had to make effort. I've had to spend money, right? So that's just the way it is, but these are things I choose, right? I get to choose these things. Does this mean I'm perfect and all-knowing? Hell no. As a matter of fact, the more I study, the more I learn, The more classes I take, I realize that the less that I know, which is actually a good thing because then it could mean that I'm finally understanding that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, not a human having a spiritual experience. Um Ada, is there a planet harder than Earth that we can incarnate to? I don't know. I don't know, but supposedly Earth is like the e-ticket ride. It's like the best because of the polarity and the duality. And we have to remember that we are bound by various universal laws. We are bound by polarity. This is the dimension that we're in. Height, length, and width. Fourth dimension includes time. Fifth dimension, there's no space, no time. So therefore, everything's right here. But right now, we're in what's called space time, meaning it takes time to close the space, right? Terry, you told me about one of mine, Tibetan monk or something like that. Okay. When I work with people one on one, like I'm channeling, I don't remember shit. So if that's what I told you, awesome. I can't remember. And don't hold me to it. I'm not trying to be rude. It's just this stuff gets channeled right through me. Right? So cool. You were a Tibetan monk. Eureka, Earth is the planet of soul growth. Most likely because of the polarity and the duality. Remember, there's two ends of the stick. This is what I was telling you guys earlier. Where are you going to put your attention? On the oh shit or the wow, that's cool, right? Okay, after this, I'm gonna be closing up shop here. And for music, any thoughts about what's going on with the choline allegations? Sorry if you don't want to comment on this. Yes, I have many thoughts. I don't want to publicly comment on this, but I did privately um connect with Corey, who I believe gave Colleen, hopefully, the information that I came up with. But I don't want to publicly speak about it because it's such a personal thing for her, and it's a hard thing. And just I don't want to contribute to chaos energetically. This could be considered a pendulum, which is again, remember, the more you place your energy on something and your attention, the bigger it can get, can become a thought form, right? It can become an entity, it can become a parasite. I don't want to be the one contributing to that. So I stay out of it. Okay. Um, Lady Bree, I was a Tibetan monk in past life too. Cool. Yurika, I wish her all the best. Yurika, let's give her all good energy. That's really lovely. See, that's you being of service. Look at you, still being of service, Yurika. Look at you go. And for music, good on you. Thanks for responding. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I try not to ignore people. All right, you guys, who will win the 2024 election? I don't know just yet. I know who I want to win. But I don't know. There's still so much that is like it's a good game though. It's a really good game. Ooh, the Matrix is really activated. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day or evening, wherever you are in this big, beautiful world of ours. I should be here Friday for Friday meditation to connect to the higher soul. So come join us on Friday. And if you miss it on Friday, that is okay. I keep the recordings up so you can go back and listen to it. Also, for the remainder of July, I have a $50 off a 50-minute life guidance reading. So I am running a special. So if you use at the checkout, if you use the code July 50, so that's JULY 50, you'll get $50 off of your fee for a 50-minute 50. All right, you guys, have a wonderful day, guys. Stay connected. Take care of that beautiful heart. See you soon.